Brothers over 60, listen carefully. What you eat today can determine whether tomorrow you still keep your manly strength or end up sitting in a patient's chair. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen many men in their 60s who still think they're strong, still think their bodies can handle things like when they were 40. But just a few years later, they lose weight unexpectedly, lose vitality, suffer bone pain, and worst of all, face a late-stage prostate cancer diagnosis. The scary part is, the culprit isn't unfamiliar. It's right there on our dining table, hiding in foods that seem harmless, from that charred piece of red meat, to the creamy slice of cheese, to the cold glass of soda. Eaten for years, these foods quietly destroy the prostate, cause inflammation, throw hormones out of balance, and day by day, push the body closer to the edge. And here's the truth few dare to say out loud. Once the prostate is badly damaged, you don't just lose your confidence as a man. You also pay the price with surgeries, expensive prescriptions, and sometimes even your freedom. The bad news is, many men over 60 are still making this mistake. But the good news is, there's still a chance. In this video, I'll show you the 7 worst foods for your prostate. The ones that, if you keep eating them, bring disease closer and closer. And more importantly, I'll point out smarter alternatives so you can still eat well, live strong, and not sacrifice your health. Don't click away from this video, because one of those 7 foods might just be something you're eating every single day without realizing it. My dear brothers, I'm a doctor who has spent many years researching and directly treating men over the age of 50 and 60. I've met hundreds of American patients with the same story. They come to me when their bodies are already in decline, when their prostates no longer function as before, and when decades of familiar foods have finally taken their toll. I still remember Mr. Richard, a 64-year-old veteran. He thought he was still strong and didn't bother to watch what he ate. But just a few years later, he was diagnosed with severe prostate enlargement and soaring PSA levels. He told me, "Doctor, if only I had known earlier which foods were harming my body, things might have been different." That sentence has haunted me ever since. And it's exactly because of cases like his that I'm determined to share this knowledge with you. Not dry theories, but real-life experience from the clinic and from scientific research. If this is your first time watching my video here on Senior Vitality Now, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Because every week, I'll be sharing the most important insights to help us, after 60, stay strong, stay confident, and stay in control of our own health. Do you know why food affects the prostate? There's one thing many men after 60 don't realize. The prostate is a small organ, but it's extremely sensitive to what you eat every single day. Fat, sugar, salt, alcohol, all of these directly influence hormones, inflammation, and ultimately the size and function of the prostate. Think of your body like a machine. The fuel you put in, your food, determines whether the engine runs smoothly or wears down. If you overload on saturated fat from red meat, your prostate faces chronic inflammation. If you constantly drink soda and sugary drinks, insulin spikes, belly fat increases, and the prostate gets stimulated to grow. And if you overuse alcohol, both the bladder and the prostate get irritated, leading to uncomfortable disorders. Here's the special part. The prostate is strongly influenced by male hormones, testosterone, and a form of it called DHT. Certain foods can push the body to produce more DHT, making the prostate enlarge faster. Meanwhile, healthy foods help regulate hormones and reduce inflammation. That's why 2 men at age 65, starting with the same level of health, can end up so different just because of diet. 5 years later, one may still be healthy, walking and playing golf as usual, while the other is stuck with a long list of prescriptions and sleepless nights. You see, food isn't just about taste. It's the key factor that decides whether your prostate after 60 will stay stable or fall into crisis. 7 foods that destroy prostate health after 60. Red meat and processed meats. Who doesn't enjoy a juicy steak or a few crispy strips of bacon in the morning? But the hard truth is, the more red meat and processed meats you eat, the higher your risk of prostate enlargement. When red meat is charred during grilling, it produces harmful compounds that trigger inflammation and damage DNA. Bacon, sausages, and hot dogs contain nitrates and nitrites, which, once inside the body, can turn into nitrosamines, a substance proven to raise the risk of prostate cancer. I once had a patient, Mr. Charles, 67, who ate steak 4 to 5 times a week for decades. By the time he came to see me, his PSA levels were abnormally high and he had to undergo a biopsy. That's the price many American men are paying for eating habits they find hard to give up. Full-fat dairy products. A glass of whole milk, a creamy slice of cheese, or butter spread on toast may sound wholesome, but they're a double-edged sword. Many studies have shown that men who consume a lot of full-fat dairy have a higher risk of developing prostate cancer. The reason lies in the high saturated fat content and even growth hormones present in modern cow's milk. After 60, when the body already struggles to keep hormones balanced, adding these factors is like pouring fuel on the fire. If you truly need milk, choose plant-based alternatives or low-fat versions. Don't let a glass of milk you thought was healthy become a burden to your prostate. Fried foods and fast food. This is the familiar enemy. Fried chicken, French fries, burgers. They're tasty and convenient, but loaded with trans fats and reused cooking oils. These not only cause widespread inflammation, but also accelerate prostate enlargement. I remember Mr. Robert, 70, who ate fast food almost daily for convenience. The result was weight gain, high blood pressure, and a prostate so enlarged that he needed constant medication. Once he cut back on fast food and replaced it with fish and vegetables, his symptoms eased significantly. Sometimes, no medicine is needed. Just a change in diet can make a real difference. Refined sugar and sugary drinks. A cold can of soda or a slice of cake after a meal may seem harmless, but they're a deadly trap for the prostate. Refined sugar spikes insulin, drives inflammation, and disrupts hormone balance. Men who are overweight, with belly fat from too much sugar, face a much higher risk of severe BPH. I had a patient, John, 65, who drank at least 2 cans of soda every day. After his prostate enlarged, I advised him to quit soda and switch to green tea. Within just 3 months, his nighttime trips to the bathroom were cut in half. A living example that cutting sugar can save your prostate. Excessive alcohol. A little red wine may be good for the heart, but drinking alcohol in excess is a disaster for the prostate. Alcohol irritates the bladder, increases urination, and promotes inflammation. Several studies also show that heavy, long-term drinking raises the risk of prostate cancer. I once treated Mr. Henry, 72, who never gave up his nightly beer. When he came to me, he complained of sleepless nights from constantly running to the bathroom, on top of abnormally high PSA levels. The lesson is clear. The prostate cannot withstand the pressure of long-term alcohol use. High doses of caffeine. Your morning coffee can boost alertness, but when overused, 3 or 4 cups a day, the consequences fall on the prostate. Caffeine makes the bladder contract more forcefully, worsening urgency and frequency in men with BPH. Many of my patients thought coffee was harmless, but once they cut down to a single morning cup and switched to decaf green tea in the afternoon, they slept more soundly and their prostates were less irritated. Sometimes you don't need to quit coffee entirely. You just need moderation. Ultra-processed foods. Frozen pizza, packaged sausages, canned goods loaded with salt, all are ultra-processed products. They're full of sodium, preservatives, and unhealthy fats, while offering almost no real nutrition. High sodium causes water retention, raises blood pressure, and puts extra strain on the bladder and prostate. Many men think a slice of frozen pizza once in a while doesn't matter, but when it becomes a weekly habit, the prostate pays the price. I always advise my patients to cook fresh meals at home, even simple ones. It helps control salt intake while nourishing the body. How to adjust your eating habits. A detailed, doable plan. The hardest part of change isn't knowledge, it's habit. Many of my patients tell me, "Doctor, I've been eating this way for decades. How can I possibly quit now?" And I always answer, no one is asking you to flip the table overnight. At 60 plus, the body doesn't like shocks, it prefers smart shifts. My golden rule is, add first, subtract later. Each day, add one good choice, and your body will naturally push out the bad ones. Start with your kitchen. If your fridge and pantry are stuffed with soda, frozen pizza, sausages, and full-fat cheese, no matter how strong your willpower is, late at night you'll reach for them. I often do a pantry clean-out session with patients. Don't buy more of the clearly harmful foods, and put the ones you already have into a slow drawer, only for rare use, not daily. Fill the empty space with prostate-friendly foods. No sugar tomato sauce. No salt added canned tomatoes. Canned salmon/sardines in water or olive oil. Frozen broccoli, edamame, tofu, oats, brown rice, unsalted pumpkin seeds, green tea bags, and olive oil. Just switching your supply line at home helps 70% of my patients get halfway there. Shopping is also strategy. Go to the store after a snack, not when hungry. When you're hungry, every shelf calls your name. Stick to the outer loop of the supermarket. Produce fresh fish and meat, plant-based milk. Avoid wandering the middle aisles, where most ultra-processed foods live. Make reading labels a habit. Keep sodium low, daily goal under 2,300 milligrams unless your doctor says lower. Added sugars minimal. Watch for hidden names like corn syrup, maltose, low saturated fat, and short ingredient lists. With tomato sauce, choose the ones with just tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and herbs, no sugar. In the kitchen, don't aim for harsh restriction. Upgrade your cooking. Deep frying turns everything into a burden. Grilling, quick pan searing, steaming, or light braising preserves nutrients and reduces bad fats. If you grill meat, don't let it char black. Marinate with herbs, lemon, and garlic, then grill on medium heat to cut harmful compounds. Cruciferous veggies need just 2 to 4 minutes of steaming or quick sautéing. If you use pre-blanched frozen ones, sprinkle mustard powder or add a little raw cabbage after cooking to activate beneficial enzymes. Tomatoes release more lycopene when cooked with olive oil. Salmon or mackerel should be pan-seared until moist inside. If canned fish tastes too salty, rinse and mix with lemon juice and dill for a quick salad. Eating out? Absolutely doable if you ask the right questions. At restaurants, swap fries for salad or vegetables. Choose grilled chicken or fish instead of fried. Ask for sauces on the side. Pick medium portions, not large, and drink water or unsweetened tea instead of soda. Many fast casual chains now offer healthy options. What matters is being clear about what you want. And here's a small but powerful tip. Eat 5 to 10 minutes slower. That gives your body time to signal fullness, cutting out 1/3 of those unconscious calories. For drinks, I use step down, not cold turkey. If you drink 2 sodas a day, in week 1 replace one with unsweetened green tea. In week 2, replace both. Coffee is fine, but stick to 1 cup in the morning and switch to decaf green tea or warm lemon water in the afternoon. Keep alcohol under control. If you drink every evening now, set a rule. No drinking on weekdays, just 1 or 2 glasses of red wine on the weekend, with meals. Consistency, not perfection, is what delivers results. To keep it simple, use a plate framework instead of counting grams. Half the plate should be non-starchy vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, mixed salad, 1/4 lean protein, fatty fish, tofu, skinless chicken, and 1/4 whole grains, brown rice, potatoes, quinoa. Measure portions with your hand. Meat/fish equals palm-sized, nuts equals small handful, oil equals 1 tablespoon. No need to weigh, just stick to the plate picture. A 4-week roadmap helps most men over 60 transition smoothly. Week 1, focus on drinks. Cut soda, reduce afternoon coffee, add green tea. Add a bowl of tomato soup to any meal. Week 2, tackle red meat and fried foods. Limit steak to 2 meals per week. Replace with salmon or sardines. Swap fried food for grilled/pan-seared. Week 3, boost cruciferous veggies and soy. 1 cup of cruciferous vegetables daily. Add tofu or edamame 3 to 4 times weekly. Week 4, lock in habits. Prep homemade tomato sauce. Roast unsalted pumpkin seeds for snacking, and batch cook salmon to portion out. After 4 weeks, most of my patients report their taste buds have reset, sugar cravings drop, and fried foods feel heavy. I know your next question: cost and time. The good news: healthy eating doesn't have to be expensive. Frozen vegetables are affordable and still nutrient-rich. Canned salmon/sardines are budget-friendly. No-salt canned tomatoes are economical. Oats are cheaper than sugary cereals. Cooking once for 2 to 3 meals saves time. If grocery trips are tough on your knees, use delivery, but resist adding frozen pizza to your cart just because it's on sale. A few safety notes for men on long-term medication. If you take warfarin or other blood thinners, you can still eat vitamin K, rich greens, like kale, Just keep your intake steady and tell your doctor, since fluctuations are the issue, not the greens themselves. If you're on levothyroxine for hypothyroidism, keep soy foods at least 4 hours apart from your dose. Avoid high-dose green tea extract pills, which can affect the liver. We're talking about brewed tea. 1 to 3 cups a day is healthy for most. And if your doctor has you on a low-salt plan for high blood pressure or kidney disease, choose low-sodium or no-salt added versions whenever possible. I also want you to have a simple way to track progress. Forget complicated apps. Just use a small notebook to write down 3 things each day: what good food you added, what bad food you cut back, and how your energy/sleep felt. After 3 to 4 weeks, you'll see a clear pattern. Days with fish plus cruciferous veggies plus green tea equals lighter, stronger body. And if you slip at a weekend party, no problem. Just get back on track at the next meal. Health doesn't demand perfection. It demands the right direction. Finally, don't do this alone. Invite your spouse or a buddy your age to join for a month. Swap soda for green tea together. Try salmon on Tuesday nights together. Shop for groceries together. Support makes discipline easier. And when you feel tempted to quit, remember why you started. To keep your vitality as a man, to stand tall while playing with your grandkids, to avoid the surgeries you never want to hear about. Choose one small action to start tomorrow. Cook a pot of tomato sauce. Buy a bag of unsalted pumpkin seeds. Swap one red meat meal for fish, or brew a pitcher of green tea to keep in the fridge. One small step today means real benefits tomorrow, and your prostate will thank you for it. Brothers over 60, I want you to pause for a moment and think. What will happen if your prostate keeps enlarging day by day? What will happen if you keep the same eating habits, lots of red meat, fried foods, and soda, for another 5 or 10 years? The truth is, the price isn't just medicine, hospitals, or surgeries. It's also the loss of freedom, the loss of manly strength, and the loss of quality years with your family. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. We've just gone through the 7 foods that damage prostate health, and we've also seen the clear solutions. Replace them with fish, cruciferous vegetables, tomatoes, soy, pumpkin seeds, and green tea. These changes are not difficult, and with small daily persistence, you're extending the life of your prostate, protecting your vitality, and keeping your 60s and 70s strong and free. That's why I want you to do one thing right after this video. Pick one harmful food to cut or reduce starting tomorrow, and pick one healthy food to add to your meals. Just one small step, but it's the beginning of turning things around. If today's message was useful, give this video a like. That's the simplest way for me to know this knowledge truly matters. Subscribe to Senior Vitality now and turn on the notification bell, so each week we can continue this journey together, finding simple but powerful ways to stay healthy after 60. And finally, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share this video with a friend, a brother, or a loved one who's also over 60. Who knows? Your small action today might save them from an unnecessary surgery and give them many more years of strong, healthy living.